Now we'll be starting with our discussion on the revisionary test paper, CA Final, November 2020 Direct Tax Laws paper. Now here, the section B is dealing with the questions and answers. First of all, it is objective type questions. Now from options A, B, C and D given in each question, choose the most appropriate option. They are saying that we have to choose the most appropriate option. Now question number 1 is there. It is a case-based study. The following are the details relating to 4 entities, 4 resident entities, AB and Company, LM and Company, PQ and Company, and XY and Company for the previous year 1920. So they have provided details relating to 4 entities, AB and Company, LM and Company, PQ and Company, and XY and Company. Now they have given the nature of the business or profession. AB and Company, it is a partnership firm. It is a partnership firm engaged in retail trading. LM and Company is also a partnership firm. It is engaged in the business of plying, hiring, or leasing goods carriages. So in case the assessees are engaged in the business of plying, hiring, and leasing goods carriages, who does not own more than 10 goods carriages at any time during the previous year. In that case, provisions of section 44 AE are applicable to them. Then PQ and Company, it is a LLP and is engaged in wholesale trading. And XY and Company is a firm which is interior decorator. So here these information has been provided. Now system of accounting has been provided in relation to these concerns. One is mercantile system of accounting, first one. Then it's cash system for those who are dealing in plying, hiring, and leasing goods carriages. Wholesale trading is mercantile system of accounting, and interior decorator, that is what? Professional. He is following cash system of accounting. Then turnover information has been provided. Turnover or gross receipts, that is 200 lakhs for this company, AB and Company, 101 lakhs for LM and Company, 100 lakhs for PQ and Company, and 50 lakhs. Then this much amount has been received by way of RTGS or NEFT in previous year 1920, included in 3 above. So they have received rupees 150 lakhs. Here in case of business plying, hiring, and leasing goods carriages, 80 lakhs. And then in case of wholesale trading, 70 lakhs and 45 lakhs. Then amount received in cash is 30 lakhs. Here 21 lakhs, here 10 lakhs and 5 lakhs. Then they have received this much amount through RTGS and NEFT between 1/4/20 to 31/7/20, that is up to the due date of furnishing the return. So they have received this much amount. Then working partner salary is provided and interest on capital has been provided in all these situations. Then they have said that profit as per the books of accounts maintained as per section 44 AA after deducting working partners salary and interest on capital. This is profit as per the books of accounts, which they have maintained under section 44 AA. And number of vehicles, here it does not, this particular company, LM and Company, it does not own more than 10 goods carriages. And they say see note 2 below for the details. Now this they have provided note 2, details have been provided. So this is a 4 firms are there. One is LLP, and 4 firms are there. And they have provided the information relating to their business. Relating to the further notes, it may be assumed that partner's salary and interest are authorized by partnership deed, relates to the period after the partnership deed, and is within the permissible limits. So this salary and interest to partners will be allowed as deduction computing the income as per the provisions of section 40 clause B. The details of the vehicles owned by LM and Company has been provided here. In case if go for presumptive basis, therefore these details have been provided. There is gross weight of vehicle. As you are aware, if the gross weight of vehicle does not exceed 12,000 kg, then the income is rupees 7,500 per month or part thereof per vehicle. And in case if it exceeds 12,000 kg, then it's a heavy good vehicle, then it will be what? Rupees 1,000 will be the income in such a case when per 1,000 kg per ton of the vehicle, gross weight of the vehicle. So now the question about this is about the information. Now they are asking from the details given above, choose the most appropriate option to the questions given below. Which of the four entities are eligible to declare income on presumptive basis under the Income Tax Act for assessment year 2021? So the question is, they are saying which of the four entities they can declare their income. Now, first of all, what are the presumptive basis sections for the residents? One is 44AD. 44ADA is there. That is for all the businesses other than 44AE. They can go for what? 44AD. 44ADA is for the professionals which are covered under 44AA, specified professions. They can go for what? 44ADA. 44A is for business of plying, hiring and leasing goods carriages. Now in 44AD, the person may be a resident individual. He may be a Hindu undivided family resident or a partnership firm, excluding LLP. LLP is not covered under 44AD. And he is carrying on the eligible business and whose turnover does not exceed rupees 2 crores. So here, AB and firm, when we go for AB and company, it's a partnership firm. It is engaged in retail trading. It is engaged in retail trading. And the turnover does not exceed rupees what? 200 lakhs, that is 2 crores. Therefore, it is eligible under what? AB and company is eligible under 44AD. Now when we come to LM and company, a firm. Here LM and company is a firm. It is engaged in the business of plying, hiring and leasing goods carriages. Irrespective of the turnover, if the number of the goods carriages does not exceed 10 at any time during the previous year, it must not exceed 10 goods carriages at any time during the previous year. In such a case, this LM company will become eligible to opt for the provisions of section 44AE. So here LM company will be eligible because we have been provided the information in relation to these goods vehicle, and they are number of goods vehicle owned by it is 10. It does not exceed 10, therefore it will be eligible for what? Section 44AE. So LM company, it is eligible for 44AE. Now PQ and company, though it is carrying on wholesale trading business, its turnover does not exceed 2 crores, but since it is a LLP, PQ and company is an LLP, and as you are aware of the fact that LLPs are not eligible under section 44AD, cannot claim presumptive scheme under section 44AD. Then XY and company, it's a firm, it is and they are carrying on profession notified under 44AA, interior decorator, and their gross receipts basically does not exceed 50 lakhs. So here, when the turnover or gross receipts does not exceed rupees 50 lakhs, then they can go for the presumptive basis taxation under 44ADA. These professionals can go for what? Section 44ADA. So in this case, when we go, now that they can opt for AB and company can opt for 44AD, LM and company can opt for presumptive income under 44AE, and XY and company of firm can go for 44ADA. So first question is what? Ki here, in which of the following four entities will be eligible? So AB and company will be eligible. We have seen that AB and company is eligible. LM and company is eligible, and XY and company is eligible. So the answer will be AB and company, LM and company, and XY and company will be eligible because AB and company is carrying on eligible business. Turnover does not exceed rupees 2 crores and is not claiming say any deductions in respect of the incomes, then it will be eligible. So therefore, AB and company, Element company is going for 44 AE and XY and company it is 44 ADA presumptive scheme taxation. So they will be eligible. Now next question is, what is the business income to be declared by AB and company, PQ and company for AY 2021, assuming that the entities wish to make maximum tax savings without giving their books of accounts audited. Now they are asking for the AB and company and PQ and company. AB and company and PQ and company, they don't want to get their books of accounts audited. Now AB and company, when we see AB and company, it's engaged in retail trading, and when it's opting for 44 AD, in that particular case, it will not be required to say maintain the books of accounts and get them audited if it declares its income as per the provisions of section 44 AD. And what is the income? Here deemed income will be %6 of the turnover if the same has been received. Here 6% of the turnover if the same has been received through account pay check, account pay bank draft, use of ECS or other electronic mode as may be prescribed. Basically it is NEFT, RTGS, etc. are covered here. So, and 8% of the turnover in the other cases. And here they say that how much amount has been received by them by way of RTGS and NEFT, that is 150 lakhs, and the same is received during the financial year up to the due date of furnishing the return of income. It has been provided that 6% of the total turnover or gross receipt which is received by account pay check, account pay bank draft or use of electronic clearing system through a bank account or through such other electronic mode as may be prescribed, and the same is received during the previous year or up to the on or before the due date of or before the due date of furnishing the return of income under section 139(1). So here 150 lakhs have been received and 20 lakhs have been received through this mode. 150 lakhs and 20 lakhs, that is 170 lakhs. 6% is a deemed income. So how much it will be? 170 into 6%, that is 10 lakh and 20,000. And 30 lakhs have been received through cash. So on 30 lakh, what will be? It will be 8%. 8% of the turnover which has been received through cash, that's 2,40,000. So its deemed income will be what? 12 lakh and 60,000 rupees. Deemed income under deemed PGBP under section 44 AD. It will be 12 lakh 60,000 rupees. Then in working partners and interest on salary, it will be deemed to have been allowed from such deemed income. Working partners salary and interest on capital will be deemed to have been allowed from such income because no provision has been made. Unlike section 44A, we can under 44A interest on capital and working partner salary is allowed, but here it is not allowed. So it will be 12 lakh 60,000. Then they are asking for, one is 1260, then they are asking for PQ and company. Now about PQ and company, it is not able to opt for the provisions of section 44 AD. So whatever is the income as per the books of accounts will be taken here, and it will not be required to get the accounts audited because the turnover does not exceed rupees 1 crore here, and the income as per the books of accounts is 4.50 lakhs. This is 4.50 lakhs after deducting working partner's salary and interest on capital. So here they don't want to get their Books of accounts in first case it will be 12 lakh 60,000, and in the second one it will be irrespective, it will be 4 lakh and 50,000 rupees. So answer will be in second case it will be A, that is 12.60 lakhs and 4.50 lakhs respectively, because we have worked out the same. It is 12.60 lakhs and 4.5 lakhs. So this will be the answer here in the second case. Now the next question is, what is the business income to be declared by LM & Company for AY 2021, assuming that the firm wishes to make maximum tax savings without getting its books of accounts audited? Now LM & Company, it wants to make the maximum tax savings without getting the books of accounts audited. So here they have to go for the presumptive income. LM & Company is engaged in the business of what? This LM & Company is engaged in the business of plying, hiring and leasing goods carriages, and it's a firm. So here what will be the deemed income? As I already told you, in case the gross weight of the vehicle, it will be going for the vehicle weight. If the gross weight of the vehicle does not exceed 12,000 kgs, then it will be 7,500 per month or part thereof per vehicle. And in when it exceeds 12,000 kg, then in that particular circumstance it will be what? Deemed income will be 1,000 rupees per ton of the vehicle weight, gross vehicle weight. So here now we will be working out the income. So if they have provided that gross weight of vehicle has been provided, number of vehicles have been provided, date of purchase has been provided, and date when the first put to use. So here we have to go with the purchases. Date when the asset is first put to use is not relevant here. Even if the vehicle is under repairs, etc., then also we will have to compute the same deemed income for that period also. So here in this first case, the gross weight of the vehicle is 8,000 kg. 3 vehicles have been there. Date of purchase is 28th of May 2019. So here the deemed income will be 7,500 for, it will be from, for April it will not be counted because it has been purchased on 28th of May 2019. So it will be 11 months into 3 vehicles are there. 7,500 per month or part thereof. Then 11 months ownership is there for 3 vehicles are there. So it works out to be how much? 7,500 into 11 into 3. That is 2,247,500. Then next is, here also the gross weight of vehicle is 9,000. 2 vehicles have been owned and 31/7/2019. So it will be 7,500 into April, May, June. 3 months you remove, 9 months. April, May, June have been removed, 9 months. And 2 vehicles are there. So 7,500 into 9 into 2. That works out to be 1,35,000 rupees. That works out to be 1,35,000 rupees. Then we have, next is, here gross weight of vehicle is 10,000 kgs. 1 vehicle is there and same have been purchased on 17th of August. 7,500 into 8 months into 1 vehicle is there. 7,500 into 8. 60,000 rupees. Next is 11,000 kgs is the gross weight. 1 vehicle is there. The same has been purchased on 39/20/19. It will be 75,500 into 7 months into 1 vehicle. April, May, June, July, August. 5 months will be removed. Therefore, it will be for 7 months. 7,500 into 7 into 1. 52,500 it will be. Then we have 12,000 kgs here also. It will be 7,500. And for how many months? That is November, December, January, February and March for 5 months. November, December, January, February and March. And one vehicle has been owned. So it will be 7,500 into 5. That is 37,500. And then here the gross weight of vehicle is 13,000 kg. So it will be, it's a heavy good vehicle. So it will be 1,000 into 13. 2 vehicles have been owned for how many months? That is December, January, February and March. 4 months. So 1,000 into 13 into 2 into 4. That is 1,04,000. So our calculation works out to be 247,500 plus 135 plus 60,000 plus 52,500 plus 37,500 plus 1,04,000. 6,36,500. Now under section 44A, what happens is interest and salary to partners will be allowed. From this deemed income, it has been provided in section 44A that you will be allowed what? Interest and salary, and the same will be allowed from the income computed here subject to the conditions and limits which have been there under section 40B. Now this working partner salary and interest, the same will be allowed as per the provisions of section this 40B. So here working partner's salary and interest is at rate of 12.12%, it is 50,000, same will be allowed. Then here it is 586,500 and we have provided the remuneration to partners. How much salary has been provided? 1,50,000. 1,50,000 salary. This is interest has been provided and this is salary has been provided to the partners. That will be deductible. So our answer works out to be what? 4,36,500. So here, in case of third case, what will be the business income of Element Company, assuming that firm wishes to make tax savings without getting the books of accounts audited? So here it will be 4,36,500. Then what is the income? Next question. What is the income to be declared by XY and Company under the head PGBP? They are asking for the income to be declared by XY and Company under the head PGBP. For AY 2021, assuming that the firm wishes to make maximum tax savings without getting the books of accounts audited. Now here they can go for what? Section 44 ADA as a presumptive income. And what is the presumptive income here? Whatever is your turnover. 44 ADA, whatever is your turnover, 50% of the turnover or gross receipts. Here 50% of the gross receipts from profession will be deemed income, and interest and salary to partners will also be deemed to have been allowed from such income. So here it is 50 lakhs is the turnover, and all deductions will be deemed to have been allowed. So deemed PGBP will be what? 25 lakhs in such a case when this XY and Company does not want to get the books of accounts audited. Then what would be your answers to subpart 3 and 4? Would your answers to subpart 3 and 4 would change if the firm decides to get their books of accounts audited. Now here in fourth we have what? XY and Company. Look the position of XY and Company. XY and Company's income which has been reported as per 44 AA is 20 lakhs. So if it maintains the books of accounts and get them audited under 44AB, then it can claim its income lower than what? The deemed income. So it can claim its income to 20 lakh rupees. And the second one is what about third one? Third is what? In case of Element Company, Element Company, look its position. Here Element Company is there. Element Company, if it opts for this, then its income works out to be 4.10 lakh rupees when it is maintaining the books of accounts and get them what? Audited. And here our deemed income works out to be 436 what? 500. So in case if they want to get their books of accounts audited, then they can offer their income, maintain books of accounts and get them audited. They can offer their income as per the provisions of this section. That is as per the normal provisions. So here, what would happen? They say that what would be your answer? There will be no change in the answers. Yes, there would be change in answers to both subparts 3 and 4. There would be a change in part 3 and part 4, but not in answer part 4. Or there would be change in subpart 4, but not in subpart 3. So answer here will be that there will be change in both the subparts. So this was one of the comprehensive case-based study questions which we have discussed, and that is dealing with the presumptive income which we have discussed in respect of residents under 44 AD or professionals under section 44 ADA and 44 AE also. So in case of 44 AD, it is resident individual, resident Hindu undivided family or resident firm excluding LLP will be eligible, who is carrying on eligible business and turnover does not exceed 2 crores is eligible to claim the same. For 44 AE, those assessees which are engaged in the business of plying, hiring or leasing goods carriages and who does not own more than 10 goods carriages at any time during the previous year, they are eligible to claim what? 44 AE. And in case of 44 ADA, those professionals whose gross receipts from profession does not exceed 50 lakh, they are eligible to claim what? 44 ADA. So this question which we have discussed is first objective type question, and we have discussed all the parts relating to the same. So first of all, you also do practice by the same by your own hand, and then in case of difficulty, then you go for these whatever discussions have been made by us. So this was our first question. Then the next question we'll be discussing in our next lecture.